Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to yet another episode here at the Debate Circle, Season 3. And the motion of dissection that we have today reads, African governments should establish a legal investment aid to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. I read the motion of dissection again. African governments should establish a legal investment aid to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. Proposing and opposing this motion is St. Martin's Kithuguini versus Machakos Academy Girls. All the best to both teams. Team proposition, first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
In the following disclosure, I will outline the rationale behind this proposal, present concrete strategies for its implementation, and urges all members of this assembly to support this motion for the betterment of our youth and our future. My name is Isabella Kituku from the Machakos Academy, and I stand here to strongly propose the motion. African government should establish a legal investment to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. According to ChatGPT, government refers to a system or organization that governs a political entity, such as a country, a state, a region, or a city. According to Microsoft Bing, legal means connected with the law or accepted by the law. According to Wikipedia, investment means commitment of resources to achieve better benefits. According to AOL, financial decisions mean decisions that managers take with regard to finances of a company. According to DuckDuckGo, a youth is a young person who is between adolescent and maturity stage. On to my first point, entrepreneurship support. The government should provide for the youth entrepreneurship initiatives such as trainings, mentorship, awareness for them to start and grow a successful business. For example, in our country, Kenya, the government is urging the youth to engage themselves in some of the activities like Juakali industries in order to be independent. On to my second point, financial literacy campaigns. Since the government have provided awareness among African youth, the youth should be able to engage themselves in activities in order to help them get to know better about financial planning and investment. For example, the Central Bank of Nigeria's Financial Literacy Day initiative engages young people through workshops, seminars, and social media campaigns in order to promote financial education. According to the World Bank, only 24% of adults in sub-Saharan Africa are financially literate, highlighting the urgent needs for such initiatives. Legal investments pave the path to financial wisdom, guiding youth towards prosperity. On to the next point, individual responsibility. It could be argued that promoting sober financial decisions is primarily the responsibilities of individuals and their families rather than the government. This is because we need to encourage the youth in personal finance education and responsibility from an early age for more effective approach. Thank you.
The future of many people lies on the lives of the youth. I am Hester Kanini from St. Martin High School, ready to oppose the motions that state African government should establish a legal investment hedge to promote sober financial decisions to the youth. I'll first begin by breaking the motion so that sharks may not choke us as we define the motion. What are legal investment hedge? This refers to the accepted age that one must start his or her own business and in which he may invest in the stock. Others may ask, what is sober financial decisions? According to the Google Chrome, it is stated that it is the realistic control and manageability around our finances. Others may ask, who is a youth? According to the Oxford Dictionary, a youth is anyone between the ages of 18 years old to 35 years old. On to my first point, restricting freedom. Imposing a legal investment hedge limits the freedom of young people to engage in legitimate financial activities, for example, like budgeting, savings, which may discourage them from an active interest in running their businesses. On to my second point, promoting dependency. Look at a case whereby, for example, the youths of Kenya, they are relying on the government so that they may help them in running their finances instead of having their own responsibilities of managing their finances, which could help them to develop skills and confidence needed to make more informed choices. I rest my case.
Setting a legal investment age isn't merely about imposing restrictions. It's about nurturing a generation of financially savvy individuals. My name is Dongo Joanne from Machakos Academy. I wanted to decline what you said and ask you, do you ask yourself why they depend on the government? They usually depend on the government because they are not financially literate. After Form 4, some of them, they go to look for skills so that, like finances, so that they can be able to manage their finances. On to my first point, preventing financial harm and exploitation. Young people are vulnerable to scams nowadays. I mean, young people nowadays in Kenya, they really want easy money. Like, for example, according to ChatGPT, in one high-profile case, a pyramid scheme known as Ushindi Kenya Limited defrauded thousands of Kenyans, including many young people, millions of shillings. This scheme collapsed in 2018, leaving investors with significant financial losses. It promised high returns on investment. I mean, some of them, they put their money in that Ushindi investment, in Ushindi investment, and that they went on a loss because the money they put there, let's say it was some of the people who are in universities, they're usually given allowances, pocket money to use to pay the house. Maybe let's say they wanted that easy money because Ushindi investment had promised them in a big return. And then they put that money, and then it went on a loss. I mean, this person will go to any extent to get that money. I mean, he has to pay for his school fees. He has to get food. He has to do a lot of things, household management and all those things. So they even involve themselves in drug peddling. When African governments establish a legal investment age, they provide sober financial decisions to the youth because they'll help them to be able to finance their budget. They'll have time to know how to be financially literate. They'll get ways to know how to be financially literate. On to my second point. Fostering economic stability, governments can contribute to the stability of the financial markets and overall health economy by ensuring that young investors participate in a responsible and informed manner. According to the National Endowment of Financial Education, in the United States, it found that 24% of millennials, those are like the youths, have engaged in speculative investments behavior such as day trading and investment. We all know about Bitcoin. Everyone knows about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it was an investment in 2018 that involved people like the youths to put their money there, and it went to waste. I mean, we need an investment age, a legal investment age established. Thank you.
You know what seems to everyone and involves everything. I mean everything in us. The choices we make will determine everything in our lives. I am Joseph Wambua from St. Martin's High School. I stand here firmly to oppose the motion African government should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decision by the youth. On to my first point, stifling innovations. First, what is stifling? Stifling is preventing something from happening. And what is an innovation? An innovation is a new idea or introduction of new ideas. So by the government establishing legal investments to the youth will lead to prevention of introduction of new innovations from the youth, thus limiting them in making decisions by placing unnecessary rules and laws which will limit them in introducing their innovations and inventions to the public. A good example is enlightened from the book The Samaritan. Literature is a mirror to the society. So the Samaritan enlightens this point by where the Mayor Mosi needs to prevent the students from Sagana High School from introducing their invention to the public. We can see the mayor and other municipal leaders preventing the students from giving their platform to the public. And to my second point, by the government establishing legal inventions to the youth will lead to the youths to abuse drugs. This is because they have power from their money, which may lead to them to abuse the money to use the money to abuse drugs. A good example is from Nigeria. Many youths are wealthy, either from inheritance from their parents or from other businesses, and they seem to abuse drugs more. So, and to that point, I would like to ask my proposers to join us on the opposer side so that we solve the value of X together without asking why. Thank you.
Establishing legal investment age requirements is not just about protecting vulnerable individuals. It's about fostering a culture of responsible financial decisions. So I am Makau Faith from Machakos Academy, here to propose the motion that states African government should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions by youth. So I want to ask, it's not just about, okay, not everybody in the government is going to do corrupt things, because there are some people in the government who actually want these illegal things to change. Like, my first point also says that there are some parts according to the African Development Bank Group, Africa's underestimated youth are needing urgent attention, and youth entrepreneurship investment banks must become the focus of global support. Because there's a quote about somebody called Otieno that said that urged the world to believe in the youth and to put their hands in their pockets. And then she quoted by saying, "Take a risk on us, you will never regret it." She said in a moving presentation in which she describes her career trajectory. And the explanation about Mayor Mosi only did this for his selfish behavior, because he did not want the entire municipality to know about his evils and corruptions. But remember, there are also some people like Nicole and Alvita and Montano who are against this, and they wanted a global change in the Nini society. And the Samaritan app is only a way of enlightening the youth to know that there is still hope for them to have a stable government. And also another point that says educating the youth in financial education. The financial education programs are targeted the youth and have been shown to be effective in reducing the risk of financial exploitation and fraud. Just like you've been given the example of Ushindi, because it has exploited some of the people, of the youths, because they think that it is easy to get easy money by just placing like 10 bob or anything, but at the same time they are being smuggled their money. And also about gambling, some youths think that gambling is the only way, but let me tell you, it is only for a short season, because you can't gamble forever, and gambling is actually very illegal. And also, in some countries like the US, individuals must typically be at least 18 years to open a brokerage account and invest in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. They do this because they want the youth to reach a mutual age in which they can make decisions for themselves, and by the youth placing their money in an account, it means that they are putting it there because they don't want to enjoy their youthing, because at least they enjoy it when they are old, because this is in relation to which we quote by a wise man said, suffer now, but enjoy later. Because there's no essence in the youth using the old-fashioned way in saving money. Because if they use the old-fashioned way in saving money, like placing the money under their pillows or mattresses, they won't help, because at some point youths have needs. And plus, when they've kept it in this fixed account, at least they will have space. And also, they will not, because they can't touch this money until they reach a certain age limit. And when they keep the money inside their mattress, or inside their mattresses, yes, they will just access this money, and they can also use the money to buy some drugs, which cannot be applicable. So when they set this age limit, it means that they cannot access this money until they're in a certain age, and that's when they can access the money, and now they'll be able to make decisions. So please, why are you encouraging the youth to spend money on drugs or buy other things? We should be encouraging them to save the money so that they can enjoy it later. Thank you.
My presence before you today is marking the representation of St. Martin High School. My name is Caleb Kaleli. I'm hereby disagreeing with the motion of today that the African government should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions. Today, through this, as the motion itself is self-explaining, that the African government should establish a legal investment age to promote the sober decision for the youth. Through this, it's just like discriminating the youth, saying that they cannot make the sober financial decisions for themselves. And you find that engaging in investment is something that has been cooking from when you was a little person, because of maybe some people you see doing good in investment, and you just have the passion to invest in new business activities. Now, through this, you find that, before I continue, let me ask to my proposition side, how could you feel if someone denies you the chance to do something that you've been willing to do for a long period of time? And that should not be something good when you are saying you are proposing this motion, because if it is established, even the government itself is going to have low economic growth. This is because when the youth save at their young stages when the youth save at their young age, you find that investing at their young age of a very many population of youth will lead to increased government revenues. Now these revenues can be used to boost other factors of the economy, like the infrastructure. On my third point is through this you find that because the youth feel discriminated, they will just lose hope in their investment, because this is just like saying the older people are the ones with the ability to set and run the businesses and invest. You find that they engage in the black market. The black market, an example of the black market is things to do with drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is becoming a very big crisis in the society today, even in the present state of Kenya. You find that very many people have got into drugs. Now, if they have got into drugs and this policy has not been established, what if it is established for the willing investors, young youth investors to invest? What will happen to them? On my third point is that through this, on my fourth point is through this is you are disincentivizing savings. A legal investment age may disincentivize youth people from saving and investing their future. By setting arbitrary age limit on investment activities, government may risk in communicating the information saying that the investment lies only to the eyes of those people who are old. Now through this, you find that even the population itself in Kenya, it's declining. The youth are growing very rapidly. So if the youth take this, they are given the chance, they will save and improve the economy of Kenya. And with that, I do rest my case.
Based on your point that you said that the youths are being denied to access their money, I don't think it's correct. I am Machakos Faith of proposing the motion that states African government should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions by youth. That is why I started off by saying, suffer now, but enjoy later. And also, the youth are not also financially literate. You find that someone only knows that when they get money, they have to spend this on this, on this, and that. And such that you get, they don't have the mind to think clearly. I want to save this money. When I grow, I will use it to this particular field, or when I start my own business. And also, there are some guardians who actually help their children to create that account, such that you find that they have registered their children using their birth certificate, and they've also told the government that they cannot access this money until they're in this particular age. So you find that some guardians are actually helping their children to save up because they know you don't know what tomorrow lies on. And also about the drug trafficking, let me tell you something. The youths only engage in that drug trafficking because they used up all their money when they were small, and that you find that when they were young, and then you find that they cannot think clearly, and then they need something, and then they end up doing drug trafficking because there's no other job that is willing to take somebody who has already almost used all their funds. Yes, thank you.
To sum up my points about this motion, you find that it is good if the government just continues with the laws without establishing this policy. This policy is affecting the youth in various many ways. This policy is it's not even good for the youth, because the youth have a lot of chance and abilities to invest and do things more clearly. So you find now youths have a lot of ability and their creativity. The youth, when in their youthful stage, they can start innovating and utilizing their skills of investments, and they can do better eventually. Just to sum up, the first proposer said that the youth should engage in activities. Like if the youth will engage in activities in various activities before getting old, when their time to invest comes. You find that these activities that they're engaging in are the ones I'm calling the black market activities, because you cannot do well if you don't have the chance to support yourselves. With that, I call it a debate.
All right. I appreciate both teams for the job well done. I wish to talk about Machakos Academy, that is the proposers. Isabella, Kithuguini, your role was to define terms, but you did not quite define the terms. And again, to some extent, you lacked convincing power, and you made a lot of reference to notes. So you can avoid such maybe next time. For Joan Dungu, the rebuttal was not well done, was not fully done. You quoted references for your work, and that was good. However, you also referred to notes, and time management was not quite good. Therefore, you can avoid that. Faith Macau, you read notes a lot. Yeah, and again, it showed that you had done research, but I think you should state the point and demystify the point using your own words. And also, let me talk about the opposers. St. Martin's High School, Esther Kanini. Esther Kanini did not actually made little reference to citations or references. You defined terms, that was good. Joseph Wambua, you defined terms, but you did not rebuttal as expected. You did not refute the proposers. Use convincing tone, Joseph, and you underutilized your time. Make use of the 3 minutes given and do it well. Caleb Kaleli, good use of rhetorical questions. However, there was little reference to citations or the places that you got that information. All the best to both teams.